Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to our channel, the Eaton Squad. My name is Eddie. So in today's video is actually a request from one of our subscribers on the step-by-step guide on how to apply for the report of marriage contracted abroad. Details coming right up. So report of marriage is actually required if a Filipino national got married abroad to a foreign national. So a report of marriage is necessary because this will be recorded, or your marriage will be recorded in the Philippines, which is required to every application that you will need. For example, like reporting the birth of your child, applying for a 9A visa for your husband. The report of marriage is now required. So how will you report your marriage, and where will you report your marriage abroad? So report of marriage must be filed with the Philippine Embassy or Consulate, which exercises jurisdiction over the place of marriage. So for example, you guys got married in San Francisco, but you guys are now living in Mississippi. You will still be under the jurisdiction of San Francisco Philippine Consulate because that is where you guys got married, even if you guys are now living in Mississippi. So I hope there's no confusion on that. What needs to be followed is the place of the jurisdiction over the place of marriage. So what are the requirements when you file for the report of marriage contracted abroad? We will discuss that here shortly, but I wanted to also notify everybody. I wanted to give everybody heads up that the processing for each Philippine consulate is different from one another. So it's really important to know your jurisdiction. That way you know where to send your paperwork. Most Philippine consulates right now only accepts mail-in application. Because of the pandemic, they have suspended the walk-in process and by appointment process. Now, if you apply for the report of marriage, you will have to mail all the documents that they require per consulate. For this video, our reference is the Philippine Consulate of Los Angeles. So here are the requirements when you apply for the report of marriage. So number one is covering letter. This could be handwritten or typed, addressed to the Civil Registry Section, indicating service or transaction requested, and telephone number or email address for contact details. I am going to show you guys how to make a cover letter for report of marriage. So let's head over and I will show you guys how it's done.
Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. but my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh.
Number 2, for original duly accomplished report of marriage, contracted abroad form, typed or printed legibly in black or blue ink, signed by both husband and wife, and with the notary public signing and acknowledging that both parties, or the one leaving if the other party is deceased at the time of reporting with the consulate, personally appeared before the notary public. Wives should indicate their maiden name as the last name if submitted by mail, or complete forms must be notarized. So this is how it looks like when you guys are done filling up for the report of marriage form. So it's actually user-friendly, and the information that they need are very basic. So you guys will have your own column. This is for your husband, this is for you, your wife. So informations from both parties will be asked on this form, and at the very bottom you guys need to sign it, and you guys also need to attach a passport size photo at the bottom, and this form needs to be notarized. So please take note of that. Number 3, 1 original and 4 copies of the marriage certificate or contract. Original will be returned. So usually, Philippine Consulate would want original copies of your document. Then they will just stamp the copies of your document that they have seen the original document already, and this will be sent back to you when it gets approved. So make sure when they ask for the original document, make sure that you have sent the original document. That way, they won't be mailing you back all your documents just for not sending the original document that they have asked. So your process will go smoother that way when you follow all the requirements that they need. Number 4, 1 original and 4 copies of the birth certificate of the husband. If Filipino, it must be birth certificate issued by the Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA, formerly National Statistics Office or NSO. With this, with our report of marriage, I have to request for a PSA copy of my birth certificate. You can actually request it online. I will leave the link in the description box on where you can request for a PSA copy of your birth certificate. This applies to the Filipino national party, whether it's the husband or it's the wife. Number 5, 1 original and 4 copies of the birth certificate of the wife. If Filipino, it must be birth certificate issued by the Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA, formerly National Statistics Office or NSO. So again, if one of the parties is a Filipino, then it requires a PSA copy of the birth certificate. Number 6, 4 copies of a government-issued identification card or passport of both husband and wife. So for this, you can photocopy your passport, any government-issued identification card like your driver's license, your state ID, or if you have any Philippine government-issued ID, you need to photocopy that and attach it to your packet when you guys apply for the report of marriage. So these are for both parties. So if the husband is a foreign national, it needs to have a copy of his passport, driver's license, any government-issued ID that he have, as well as the wife. If the wife is a Filipino national, then she also needs to submit a photocopy of her passport, any Philippine government identification ID that you guys can attach for this application. Number 7, processing fee of $25, non-refundable, payable in cash, postal money orders, or cashier's check made payable to the Philippine Consulate General. Personal check and credit cards are not accepted. So with this, I would highly recommend to send a money order. All you gotta do is go to the USPS, get a money order for $25, and attach that to all the documents you will be submitting to the Philippine Consulate for this application. Please remember that this fee is non-refundable. Number 8, indicate in the package a USPS Priority Mail flat rate envelope or box if you have really thick documents that is self-addressed and postage prepaid as the return envelope with USPS Tracking. So with this step is, if you have gathered all the documents, go to the USPS, put it in a flat rate envelope, and also buy another envelope addressed to you. That way the Philippine Consulate can return all your documents when your application has been processed and approved. Please don't forget to get a priority mail with a tracking number. That way you can track where your documents are at, and if your documents are approved and be sent back to you, you can also track that as well when you can receive all the documents. The Philippine Consulate will also require additional requirements if you guys belong to this following category. Number 1, if report of marriage is filed after 12 months of the date of marriage, a notarized affidavit of delayed registration of marriage must be accomplished. I will leave the link in the description box for the form of this. So please take note that it is really important that your marriage needs to be reported within 12 months after you guys get married. Because if not, you will have to include an affidavit why the report of marriage was delayed. Number 2, for contracting parties of the marriage who were previously married, the following additional documentary requirements must be submitted. Letter A, if Filipino applicant had a previous marriage annulled, an original and 4 copies of the Philippine Statistics Authority, formerly National Statistics Office or NSO, issued annotated marriage certificate which indicates the details of annulment, and or DFA authenticated judicial decree of annulment with Certificate of Finality. So this applies to those Filipinos whose previously married and got annulled. You guys will have to submit this paperwork to be included in the requirements. Letter B, if Filipino applicant is divorced and divorce was initiated by foreign spouse, 1 original or certified true copy and 4 photocopies of DFA authenticated judicial recognition of foreign divorce issued by a competent Philippine court with Certificate of Finality. Divorce is not recognized in the Philippines, but when divorce is validly obtained abroad by an alien spouse from his or her Filipino spouse, the Filipino spouse shall have the capacity to remarry under Philippine law. Divorce, however, must be recognized in the Philippines court. The foreign divorce decree must be judicially enforced or confirmed in the Philippines by filing the proper civil action at the Regional Trial Court in the Philippines, or RTC Philippines. So I hope this is clear. If you have filed for divorce abroad, you need to have it recognized in the Philippines, and whatever paperwork they will give you, that needs to be attached in your report of marriage application. Letter C, if either groom or bride is widowed, 1 original or certified true copy and 4 copies of the death certificate of deceased spouse, original supporting documents will be returned. So like I said, if you guys belong to this category, the following documents that we mentioned needs to be submitted along with the other documents that you need to submit for the report of marriage contracted abroad. The Philippine Consulate General will convey the report of marriage and annex documents to the Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA of the Philippines. It takes at least 6 months to about 1 year for the ensuing Philippine Certificate of Marriage to be available for ordering from the PSA in the Philippines. So you might get confused on that notation. This is when you guys have finally reported your marriage it would take 6 months to a year before you can request for the copy at the PSA office. But if you guys got this already from the Philippine Consulate, you can use this as well. So it's either the original report of marriage from the Philippine Consulate, or you can request for a copy at the PSA in the Philippines. So I hope this is a lot more clearer now on how to apply for the report of marriage contracted abroad at one of the Philippine consulates in the US or in Japan or in London. So make sure that you know you guys' jurisdiction where you guys got married. That's where you need to apply for your report of marriage. Thank you so much guys for watching. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family whom you know that can use this video as reference. If you are new to our channel, welcome. We do travel updates, and if you are not a subscriber yet, please consider subscribing and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you will be notified on updates like this. And to our subscribers and new subscribers, thank you so much for the continued support and trust to our channel, the Eaton Squad. I hope to see you guys on our next travel update. Stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless everyone. Bye.
All right.